Bullas, a natural wine cellar. Bullas, a village on the border. Rights to the village have passed from hand to hand amongst kings and religious orders over the years. For centuries, it's been dependent on its grander neighbours and lived in their shadow. But Bullas has always survived the ups and downs of history. Thanks to the efforts of its inhabitants, King Charles II of Spain proclaimed it an independent municipality in 1689. But since long before, and in spite of the comings and goings of kings and wars, Bullas has gone on growing its special fruit and harvesting it. The fruit is the grape. Along with the olive, it's one of the Mediterranean's sacred crops, and it forms an inseparable part of village culture. And Bullas still enjoys its close relationship with vines and wines. Although there's evidence of an earlier civilization, it was the domination by the Roman Empire that intensified the production and consumption of wine in the region. The wealth of local folk tales, including the Child of the Grapes or the Seal of Castellar, highlights the importance of wine to the prosperity of this area. The village of Bullas, which is also known as the Gate to the northwest, is in Spain's Murcia region, about 30 miles from the local administrative capital, also called Murcia, and about 60 miles from the east coast of Spain with its beaches and large tourist resorts. Its mixture of Mediterranean and continental climate is what makes it an ideal place for producing wine. We're now in spring, and the first buds have appeared on the vines to help celebrate the village festivals that mark the happy return of good weather. The end of April welcomes the festival of St. Mark, when the villagers dance in the streets and thoroughly enjoy themselves, as they call on their patron saint to bless their fields and deliver an abundant harvest. Hard work and faith frame the beginning of a new wine-growing season. As spring wears on and summer approaches, dawn breaks on an ever brighter new day, making this an ideal time to stroll through the peaceful, colourful village streets of Bullas. The Zacatín local market is held on the first Sunday of each month, and all the know-how of the people of Bullas is reflected in the top quality and wide variety of the products on offer. This is the chance for visitors to the village to experience the warm welcome given by the locals. Now, as we continue our stroll through the old part of the village, we arrive at the Plaza de España, with its sculpture paying homage to the vineyard workers who are at the root of the town's prosperity. Take a walk down the Camino Real with its imposing buildings, and then along the Calle Fiel with its clock tower dating from 1900. The bells from the clock tower would signal the opening and closing of the sluices in the irrigation channels, ensuring that each farmer received his fair share of water. But the most important part of the architectural heritage of the vine is wine production. Virtually every house in the old part of the village has its own wine cellar, and some of these cellars are still the same as the day they were built. But the soul and the essence of our wines are found out there in the vineyards. Bullas wines have their own characteristic identity, thanks to the special variety of Mediterranean grapes grown in the local vineyards. This variety, known as Monastrell, is characterized by its compact size and highly intense bluish-violet color. And this is what gives the wine such a strong personality: its color, its aroma, its taste. The efforts of many people down the ages finally paid off in 1994 when Bullas wines received their Denominación de Origen, or official certification of origin. The hot days of the year are upon us, and it's time to relax and enjoy life a little. natural pool among the rocks, known as Salto de Usero, is a good place to take a refreshing afternoon dip. On the night of the festival of San Juan, everybody in the village gathers to join in the reenactment of an ancient legend. Just like anywhere else around the Mediterranean, the summer solstice is celebrated in a pagan ritual that involves, above all, fire and water. Enjoy the excellent weather in all its summer splendor. Bullas is in a privileged setting, and it pays to know how to get the best out of it. Winding paths through the hills and vineyards, beautiful views, lovely walks, or relaxing bike rides. The time's come to harvest the grapes, for autumn has finally arrived. Grape pickers are hard at work from first light, carefully collecting the valuable fruit before it goes on its short journey to the wine presses. The grapes grow through the most advanced technological processes. Quality is the path sought after here. Technicians and wine specialists assess the different wines arriving in the cellars. This is when the grapes are full of the sugars that give the wine its intense full body, and above all, its characteristic aroma. The process of modern winemaking, a world away from traditional village techniques, has now begun. The new season is now in full swing, as the juice of the grape is left to ferment in the calm silence of the vineyard cellars at a carefully controlled constant temperature. The rest is a matter of time. The grape harvesting prompts yet another celebration, the wine festival, where work and leisure go happily hand in hand. The first new batch of wine is blessed in a traditional religious ceremony while the whole village watches. As in the past, the grape pressers squeeze out the juice of this year's grapes. The wine is tasted and a good year's production is asked for. The whole village takes part in this ceremony. The main square is transformed, as on so many other occasions, into the focal point of local attention. At the stroke of midnight, a magnificent firework display lights up the dark sky to celebrate both the start of a new wine season and the continuance of an age-old tradition. Wine is the source of the village's prosperity and the origin of many local traditions, and it has its own place in the heart of Bullas, the Wine Museum. This provides a colourful display of all local culture and faithfully reflects the wine-growing tradition of the surrounding region. The wine route that it promotes serves as a guide to the rich cultural diversity of Bullas. The interesting exhibits and carefully designed layout of the museum help us to understand this magical world. Bullas does indeed have a unique identity, forged over the years and crystallized in the present-day village and its attraction for the visitor. Bullas is a natural wine cellar.